What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's 7 o'clock premiere. And I want to talk about a story I updated that has a lot more information, and had more to the story than we realized, like all these stories I do. And the story I'm talking about is the 10-year-old boy that was from Tavares, Florida, near Orlando, by the name of Xavier Williams, pictured here. Ladies and gentlemen, this little boy died over the weekend, after being hospitalized for weeks, after horrific abuse and torture at the hands of his mother and her bum-ass boyfriend. Now, the mother's name is Kimberly Mills, and the boyfriend's name is Andre Walker. And if it was up to me, I'd deglove both their faces right now, but I'm going to keep that under wraps. More information has come out, being that the child died after, going through some horrific abuse. You guys don't remember this little boy right here because he didn't have a face, at first, when the story broke. This is the little boy that was duct taped to a ladder in the garage and had a 10-pound weight repeatedly dropped on his stomach, to the point where he got an arterial bleed in his abdomen. He died recently. He was covered in burns, bruises. This boy was beat with everything except the kitchen sink, if you go and look at the story. And a little bit more has come out about who he was, his past, and his father spoke. And I want you men out there to pay close attention, because a lot of us have went through this type of stuff when you're dealing with somebody that has your kids and want to cut you off from contact because they get this new boo thing that ain't worth a damn. And some of the stuff I said in my video, a lot of people didn't like in the comment section, come to fruition in this one. Check it.
We've got some breaking news that we're following in Lake County right now, where murder charges were just announced for a Lake County mom and her boyfriend, both of them now charged with murdering her 10-year-old son. I'm Summer Knowles.
I'm Jesse Pagan. We broke the news on West 2 News at noon after the state attorney's office told us they're upgrading the charges against Kimberly Mills and Andre Walker following the death of 10-year-old Xavier Williams. A case of torture, investigators say it left the boy covered head to toe in bruises.
West 2's David Jones was the first to tell you about these upgraded charges. He is live at the little boy's home right now with the breaking details. So, David, did this come as a shock, or was this expected?
Yeah, this was unfortunately expected. This mom and her boyfriend had been facing aggravated child abuse charges since they brought little Xavier Williams to the hospital in cardiac arrest. Following his death on Friday, both the state attorney's office and the police department confirming to West 2 that those charges have now been upgraded to second-degree murder.
And I just feel so awful. It's just terrible for a child to be so severely abused.
Xavier Williams is described as a funny, likable kid, a great friend to those who knew him. Community members continue to pour out expressions of grief at the memorial in front of the Tavares home where Xavier lived.
A few doors down, and I could do nothing to help.
Neighbors like Vicki Kane, a social worker.
This has just weighed so heavily on me to know that a child was being so severely abused right a few houses from me. And there was nothing I could do, but I know I heard him scream one night, and I came out with a flashlight, looked around, couldn't find anything, or I would have called the police, but I couldn't identify where the scream came from.
Xavier's mother, Kimberly Mills, and her boyfriend, Andre Walker, faced aggravated child abuse charges after the 10-year-old was brought to the hospital, covered with burns and bruises. Detectives testified Xavier's little brother told investigators about the abuse, about how Xavier had been duct taped to a ladder and had weights dropped on him. Xavier would spend a month in the hospital, never regaining consciousness, according to detectives, before passing away Friday.
We're pleased that the state attorney's office has filed charges on Kimberly Mills and Andre Walker for second-degree murder.
Detective Courtney Sullivan says it's a horrific case that has shaken the community.
This has been a devastating case to work as a detective, but also as a mother. And I think a lot of our department can agree that as parents, this has been the most difficult case that we've ever had to work.
And Sullivan asks everyone keep Xavier's family and brother in your thoughts and prayers. The family has extended an invitation to the community to attend a vigil Saturday evening at 7 o'clock at Wooten Park in Tavares. They ask that if you are coming, you do wear blue. That was Xavier's favorite color to honor him. Covering Lake County, live in Tavares, David Jones, WESH 2 News.
Now at 4, a 10-year-old boy's family is talking about their pain after the boy succumbed to his injuries.
That's right. Xavier Williams here died Friday after suffering what police are calling unimaginable abuse. Detectives say the boy's mom and her boyfriend tortured him to death. They are both now facing murder charges.
WESH 2's David Jones was the only reporter to sit down with Xavier's father today. David, did he have any idea that his son may have been in danger?
He says he did not. He told me Kimberly Mills, the boy's mother, had actually cut off all contact between both him and Xavier about 3 weeks prior to Xavier's hospitalization. I sat down with the family today to talk about what led up to this just horrific incident and to understand how they're coping with all of this.
You hear this story, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. It should affect you.
The story of 10-year-old Xavier Williams is one that has rocked his family to their core.
He was special. He was. It hurts every day.
But for Xavier's father, the pain didn't start February 23rd.
I was always in my kid's life. I never out of my kid's life.
He says the boy's mother, Kimberly Mills, brought his 2 sons to live in Florida from their longtime home in Connecticut in 2022. Divorced, he says her attitude toward him changed back in 2019, once she got her citizenship years after coming here from Jamaica.
The day she was leaving for Florida, I later have to drive her down on the highway to stop before I see my kids.
They had joint custody, but she now lived in Tavares with the 2 boys. He bought them a phone to have calls every day. Then, starting in December, she would begin supervising his calls with the kids and limiting communication.
She took away the phones, she took away the iPads. My brother bought games for the kids. She would take that away and give it to her boyfriend. They had little to no communication with their dad.
His sister Camille even says during previous visits, when he would buy a plane ticket to Florida, she would not even let him see his sons.
My brother fought like hell for his children. He fought like hell for his children.
Then the call came at 2:30 in the morning. Xavier was hospitalized in cardiac arrest. His dad was on the first plane down and never left his bedside for a month.
You're having meetings with doctors on a daily basis, telling you that the son you're hoping and praying that will be okay is not gonna make it. Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how difficult it is to sit at your son and your nephew's bedside and watch that little boy that was so full of life and vibrant take their last breath?
They've been learning more about what he went through and about boyfriend Andre Walker's alleged involvement.
A young kid, so precious. At age 10, life was cut short. You know, looking back on those precious memories, this little man did have a dream to fulfill.
And it's here at Wooten Park in downtown Tavares where the community will come together to honor the life of Xavier Williams on Saturday at 7 o'clock. The family also has a GoFundMe, which we've linked to on our website. The family wanted to express their thanks to the community, to those who have expressed support, and they also wanted to ask others to have empathy for the situation they're currently dealing with. Covering Lake County, live in Tavares, David Jones, WESH 2 News.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a sad story of this young man, Xavier Williams. You know what I'm saying? May he rest in peace. Let me start by saying this. I don't pay attention to none of the negative comments. I don't. To be on here and do what I do and a lot of other kind of creators, it got to roll off your back like water off a duck's back. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this. This little boy mattered. and he should still fucking be here. Did you hear the game? Did you hear the sister and the father? They from Connecticut. Miss Mills was in Connecticut till she got her citizenship. Then she switched up on my man. Said moved 2019 down to Florida. You know what I'm saying? Said he had to ride down the highway basically to catch her to say goodbye to his kids. She just took the kids and left. See that? That's how the system's set up. You ain't got no say of your own damn kids a lot of times. Now they got a divorce and she just up and moved and took the kids with her. He got to run and chase and find these damn kids. Gave them a phone. Stayed active in their life. Tried to do the best he can to be a man in a distant relationship with 2 children he had. And what happened? One of them's dead and the other one was abused just the same. Why? Because she lucked up and came across somebody of like mind and darkness in the heart like her. And he came in the house and took over. Said everything started 3 weeks before he went in the hospital. A couple months before he went in the hospital. Couple months before she what? Met Andre Walker. This piece of shit up here. She met him. Said he sent games, sent stuff. She would take it and give it to the fucking Pookie. Give it to this motherfucker. What the fuck you playing games for? But then again, the mindset matches the man. You seen him in court? The motherfucker this big. Yet he in her house and running it, and she lockstep behind him. This is the thing. If you ain't with them kids, you can get him back to that man. I'm more than sure he would have took them. He was your husband at one time. He would have took them fucking kids. But no, that child support or whatever monetary gain you was getting from that, you know what I'm saying? Made it worth the risk. See, a lot of times these motherfuckers get these kids, they take these kids, they don't really want the kids. They want to live their life, especially when they come across some new boo thing that ain't worth a goddamn. This is what we deal with nowadays. She in court looking stupid as shit. Just standing there. Your son is fighting for his fucking life, or he was fighting for his fucking life. Man had to leave for a month. He down here. Ain't at his job. Sitting there watching his son, hoping he get better and he don't. Doctors telling him it's grave. He ain't gonna make it. I remember we first broke this goddamn story around the 22nd of February, a little bit after that when it broke. They was like, he ain't gonna make it. They already knew. How bad did this child look when he came in there and what he was dealing with for them to say that at a hospital? Prognosis is grim. We don't know what to do. All we can do is wait. Wait. Did you see the sister? Did you see the sister of the husband? See the pain on her face. Empathizing and visualizing what the fuck is happening down there with her brother. That little boy mattered. People cared about him, even though you didn't. And this is the child that you birthed out of your womb. You could have gave him back. That's the thing. That's why I don't give none of this shit. When you see this kind of stuff, whether it's a male or female fucking up their own goddamn kids or letting some other demon come in there and trounce all over them, it's always an option. And we never take that out. That's why I have no sympathy or anything for people that do dumb shit and then sit in court. Why the fuck is she in court right now? Why is she in jail? Why? You let a random stranger of fucking 2 months come in there and torture your fucking kid. And you helped. See, I'm gonna tell you something. People talk about this independent woman shit and all this other shit. Women always gonna follow men. Especially if they feel as though it's something they can gain or lose. Whether it's affairs of the heart or something else. For some odd reason, this fucktard woman let this piece of shit troll come in and do what he did. Her. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Why are they sitting there eating when this little boy ain't eating no more? Can you imagine being duct taped with your hands up like this where your stomach is exposed at 10 fucking years old, where your brother's watching you and these people are committing a foul act on you by dropping a weight on your stomach, beating them with boxing gloves, had a copper tube, a metal rod that beating them with all kind of stuff. That ain't love, that's hate. And it has something to do with in here. And I told y'all before, like when we was talking about this shit before. A lot of times, the vitriol and hate brushed off on the children come from what? The remnant of the father. He treated her like shit. Later on down the line, it poured on the fucking kids. This little boy named Xavier Williams, I know he's named after his fucking dad, probably looked like him. And he be damned for that? Are you fucking kidding me? Yo, they need to line these motherfuckers up, put them on a fucking bench, and then give them the juice all at one time. All at one time. This guy 4 months ago was a stranger. And now he got the right to come in and kill your kids, and you allowed him to do that? Or your son? Think about that. 4 months ago, he didn't exist. And he came. What was his balls made of gold? What the fuck? How does this even, you a nurse. You know what trauma does to the body. You go to work every day working them 12-hour shifts, sitting up in there holding people's hands, consoling family members, it's going to be all right, and all this other stuff, and your son needs you, and you ain't even there. Why? Because you was a contributing factor to him being in the hospital in the first place. He never woke up, guys. A month. He never woke up. Can you imagine being a father? You already feel bad because you got to run down there and you don't know what's happening. At a fever pitch, your heart racing, all that stuff. You go in there and see an atrocity. A sickness that these motherfuckers left you to bear witness. You holding his hand, he can't feel it. He never wakes up. Everybody telling you that it's over. And all you got to do is have a glimmer of hope that never shines. You sitting up there, she in jail. He in jail. Can't even get your hands on the son of a bitch that did this to your fucking kid, whether it's him or her. How is that justice? How is it? They'll lock him up. They'll give him a fucking deal. Second-degree murder, are you kidding me? First degree, you meant to do that shit. But they don't look at that. The justice system is shit and prison is trash. Nobody's scared of it. Look at her. Nurse threw her fucking life away. Look at him. Fucktard bum. I'm sweating. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason Channel. We just ended at that, man. Listen, the world is cruel. And the only thing we have to hold on is the basic human instincts that make us human and the things that we should really relish. Bringing children into the world, living, loving, laughter, all that type of stuff. Building up or teaching another human being that we birthed to not make our mistakes and be better in the world than we was. What's wrong with that? How hard is that? Evidently it's hard because motherfuckers can't do it no more. And that's the shit that's sickening. We are nothing like we used to be. A lot of people sit up here and talk about people back in the day and we got technology and this and that. And these people did this. They were smarter than us, all of them. Because they understood the basis and the groundwork of being a human being and having a better tomorrow goes through our children. But nobody sees it like that no more. Fuck this. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason Channel. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm sorry I'm screaming. I'm losing my fucking voice. He's a 10-year-old boy. I want you to think about that. And nobody would take the place of him, of what he went through, except maybe his own father. That's a lonely position to be in. I feel so bad for these people that cared about him. And fuck the ones that hurt him. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.